Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude, helping you to understand your weather even better. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for August 27th, 2019. I can't wait to get things started today. As always, please consider subscribing as well as sharing and liking this video with others. And please ring the bell notifications so you don't miss one of my videos again after you do subscribe. And please look in the description for other videos of mine with superior weather content that you won't find anywhere else. And please consider watching the whole video because today, I know I did a couple videos on Dorian. I'm thinking about doing one tomorrow, as well as another one for Tropical Depression 6. That could become Aaron, Tropical Storm Aaron, but Dorian being a more greater threat to human life. So I'm thinking about doing a video on Dorian tomorrow. I did do a couple other videos on Dorian if you want to go check those out as well. But today I'm going to start doing some weekly forecasts. This weekly forecast will be from September 1st, as you can see on the calendar here, September 1st to September 7th. Alright, so I'm going to do like a bunch of tabs. I'm going to be analyzing two ensemble models, the GEFS and the GEPS. And then I'm going to do my own forecast. For my own forecast, my face will be taken off the screen because it's in Microsoft Paint, and my camera's just going to obscure it too much. So for that section, my face will be off. But for this part, I'll keep my face on the screen. So first up here, we have the 500 millibar heights from the GEFS mean, and this is from, I have two maps. So one is September 1st through September 6th, and one is September 2nd through September 7th. So these two maps cover a whole week. So the 1st through the 6th, I mean, basically, you got this high pressure. You could argue it's part here, maybe, part here. Actually, I do think it's the first one. I think that's where the high pressure actually is, because you can tell by the circle around it. Either way, though, it's going to help to push that jet stream a little bit farther north and then take a little dive in the east. So the east won't be too, all that cold. Battery saver mode looks like it got activated there. Okay, so the screen got a little darker. That's okay, though, we could still say. But warm and dry air probably going to take over the western United States for September 1st to the 7th. And then a little troughing over the east, although major troughings going on up in Canada over there. So, pretty much the same thing goes for the 2nd through the 7th. Pretty much the same thing. High pressure looks like it backs off a little bit farther west. And the troughing looks to be a little bit more significant across the east. So if this is right, we'll probably, especially towards mid-September, I mean, a lot of those, So here's this blue line, right? And I'll erase everything else besides this. Hold on a second. Alright, so let's get rid of all this. I just want to erase everything except that line. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look back at what the first map I showed you, and I want you to see, so this is the blue line, the edge of it, and you can see it was farther to the north before and it's dropping a little bit farther south. So is this maybe telling us that we could have some troughing? Significant troughing coming in towards mid-September? It's a possibility, if this product can keep up. This is the same type of map, except for the GEPS ensemble models. I will say for the record, I think GEFS is much more reliable than this model, but I can't rule it out. I can't just say, the heck with you. I have to show it. So, with that being said, they're showing a much, not necessarily stronger, but definitely a larger high pressure system. You can tell where those lines are. And it definitely covers, the jet stream definitely covers more. So there's not as much troughing. So they're calling for warmer conditions pretty much across the whole country. And this does have a warm and drier bias. So I wouldn't really, kind of like the CFS model kind of does. It kind of has like that warm bias. But, I mean, and towards September 7th, we do see a little bit more troughing. So both ensembles indicate that by the time we head towards mid-September, we could potentially have a little bit more troughing in the east than we did before. So here's a GEFS 2-meter temperature anomaly. This is a 5-day average from the 1st to the 6th. Then, of course, we're going to show you the 2nd through the 7th so you can get a better look. And you can see, for averages, I mean, it's a little cut off by the camera, but probably over 3 degrees Celsius above average for the Rockies there. So that's pretty high. It's over 6-7 degrees Fahrenheit. Degrees above average, probably. But overall, as a whole, the northwest will be warmer and drier, while the east, again, I think the ridge, it's going to be like this. It's going to be a higher ridge, so we get some significant warm air, but it won't be like a huge trough either. So it's not going to be like, night and day over here. It's not going to be like huge Arctic blast versus, the hot death ridge. It's just gonna be, we're gonna take that judge. It's gonna be like pretty up there, but the trophy in the east won't be as significant. So let's put it as like very warm over here and cool over here. Like you don't see as much cold as you do warm. It's not really equal. So that shows that the trophy isn't as strong in the east, but we could still have some cooler temperatures. And the same goes for the 2nd through the 7th. Now again, here's a GEPS, and they're showing pretty much, it looks a little bit more high resolution if you try and look at it versus the GEFS, but overall, that doesn't mean the model is better. I still think that the GEFS is a little bit more reliable, but they're saying that the Southwest could be a little bit cooler, maybe the Northern Plains and Central Plains could be cooler, and then the East a little bit warmer. Could certainly be a possibility. And then 2nd through the 7th, that warm air strengthens over the East, which I do not agree with, because there will be slightly more troughing coming down from the north, and I'll start maybe advancing its way south, maybe like a backdoor cold front, maybe. That could be possible as well. So here's GEFS accumulated precipitation anomalies, and you can see Dorian potentially headed for Florida there. Wouldn't be surprised if you got some excessive, over like 3-4 inches above average, as the southern plains in the Midwest could be a little bit dry. So that's pretty interesting. And of course, not a big shocker there. Alaska's dry, and maybe even New England maybe a little bit more wet. So that there's no second map for this because this goes from the 1st to the 8th. So that's pretty much only what I need. So I don't need to do a second map like I did for these other ones right here. But here's the GEPS again, same time frame, 1st to the 8th. And surprisingly, they're showing like a wet pattern setting up for the East Coast. And maybe it's one of those models. I mean, there's some maybe in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe you can have a tropical system there as well. But I think these are one of the models I have to look at takes Dorian out like this. But Dorian could certainly go off the Carolina coast, head towards Florida, and back out towards the Carolinas. That's certainly a possibility. That's what some models have been saying. Alright, so we're going to go to my little forecast. This isn't as detailed as what I do say, like my monthly and my seasonal forecast, but I definitely do put my best effort into it and just give you an idea of what's coming up in the week ahead, especially if some of you are going back to school. So here is my weekly forecast, September 1st through September 7th. Alright, so this is going to be my weekly forecast. Again, September 1st through 7th. That's an idea of, back to school. Well, what weather am I going to be seeing is some of those lucky kids. They get to go back to school a little bit, later. Alright, so here we go. So this is the weekly US forecast. I'll be doing I won't be doing it every week. I'll try to do my best to do as many weeks as I can. And you can see warmer and drier. Again, for the west, you got that trough pattern that comes down like this. Again, not as much troughy in the east as there is ridging in the west. So it's like, ooh, and then it kind of just, it's like if you've ever been on Thunder Mountain in Disney World, it's like you get some big climbs, like the jet stream, it relates. You get big climbs, but the drops are pretty shallow. So that's basically what the jet stream is like here. We got some big rises, so some very warm air, but the drops aren't that big, so we see some cool air, but not Arctic blast air, if that makes any sense. I tried my best a few times to explain that one. I guess I'll keep my face on here. Never took my face off, and it's not obscuring anything. I just noticed that. Okay. But I'll keep my face on here. Alright, let's go. So, average temperature is a little bit cooler for the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and back towards the Midwest. Again, growing tropical concerns for the southeastern United States. There. Especially for Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and the Carolinas. Could be affected by some tropical concerns. Some tropical entities, I should say. Maybe a little bit some in the Gulf of Mexico, potentially. Maybe. I mean, that was just a big shot by one of the models, but we know that we are half certain that Dorian could be heading in that direction, and the 8 o'clock update on Dorian may remain exactly the same. Did drop from yesterday, the winds are down to 50 miles an hour, but could be a hurricane when it comes to this area. If it does, we gotta watch out there. And of course, where you have, the troughing, or the ridging and the troughing, there's gotta be some kind of low to right along it. And with that, you can see some wet and stormy conditions. This is like one of the most wet areas in the United States in the next, like up through September 8th. So that's your area in the Central Plains. Northern Plains, Central Plains, Southern Plains, right through the middle of the country there. Some wet and stormy conditions. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm glad I got to keep my face on here. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully my next one will be an update on Dorian, I hope. Thank you guys for watching. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time. Catch you guys next video.